All right, so seems like we are live. So, hello and a very warm good evening to one and all who have joined us today. First of all, before we proceed, I welcome you all back to our live, quiz session where we will be conducting a very fun Kahoot, and that's on a very, very special occasion today, and that is your Asteroid Day. So I suppose that many of you were already aware that Asteroid Day was coming up, and we are anyway having a few sessions since the past month where we had done a DIY session. If you are not aware of that, please do check that out in the video section of our Spacetopia platform. Along with that, very recently we had a very nice citizen science, masterclass where we had our space expert, Dr. Mila ma'am, who actually took the students through an online tool through which you actually get to learn about asteroids, how you can detect asteroids, and all that stuff. And finally, we are here on the D Day, which many of you were already waiting for, and that is the Asteroid Day quiz, which will be conducted on the Kahoot platform. Now, before we dive deeper into the quiz and all that thing, let's just quickly have a recap of Asteroid Day because it's, International Asteroid Day, such a big day, especially when it comes to astronomy and space science. So why not cover up a few things about asteroids and then let's dive deeper into the quiz itself. So let me just share my screen and let's just dive deeper into the celebration of Asteroid Day itself. Okay, so let's just have a quick recap of what is so special about Asteroid Day. Why do we celebrate Asteroid Day? And do asteroids even are so important that we are having such an international, level of event today? So what is so important and exciting about that? So since it's 30th of June, the date is fixed. We celebrate Asteroid Day every year on 30th of June because in 2016, United Nations declared it as a resolution to hold a day on the anniversary of the Tunguska impact, which had occurred over Siberia on 30th of June 1908. So, almost about 120 years ago, there was a huge asteroid impact that had occurred over Siberia. That means northern part of the Russia today. And that place was named as Tunguska. So it is called as the Tunguska impact. And to celebrate the anniversary, it's more about sad celebration, because an asteroid impact is nothing of very happy event, of course, which I had told you earlier as well. But what's happy and what's exciting is the fact that when asteroids come down on Earth, we get to learn a lot about them. We get to learn a lot about the type of materials that they're made up of and a whole lot of other type of information. And in addition to that, we also get to know that, okay, that if asteroids are coming down, that means there are definitely several high amount of risky asteroids that may be present around our Earth that might pose a threat to us in future as well. So to raise the awareness about asteroids and their potential for impacts, this particular day was actually declared as a resolution in 2016, considering its importance. And since then, Asteroid Day has been an international worldwide event, which is celebrated all across the world through different kind of awareness programs, debates, competitions, and all that different kind of stuff. And being part of that, we are also celebrating that Asteroid Day in the form of this Kahoot quiz, along with the quick recap that we are having about asteroids. So let's just quickly see what are asteroids. Well, we had already covered up that as well, that these are rocky and metallic objects which do not have any atmosphere, quite small in size, not more than 1,000 kilometers. Even the largest ones are not even 1,000 kilometers in diameter, often called as minor planets or planetoids, and has been derived from the word aster, which means star-like. So initially, when asteroids were being discovered, people didn't know that these are some random rocks which are floating in space. Okay, so they just considered them similar to the stars, and that is why they had actually used the name aster or star-like to actually name these objects. That is the word asteroid. That's where it comes from. Now, if you look at this person, I'm sure that some of you might be aware of who he actually is. So he was the person who actually discovered an object between Mars and Jupiter about over 200 years ago, actually. His name is Giuseppe Piazzi, and he was the person who discovered the first asteroid. So he named it Ceres after the Roman and Sicilian goddess of grain. That means it looked very small, like a tiny grain. So that is why he named it after grain. And the name given was Ceres, which was the first asteroid that was discovered. But he didn't know that he had actually discovered the largest asteroid which is present in our solar system. So we are going to see about that. So how are these asteroids classified? Well, these are mainly classified based on the location where they are present. So first, we have the main belt asteroids. I'm sure that most of you might be aware that most of the asteroids are found actually in a belt of asteroids between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. But then we have the Trojan asteroids, those which actually share their orbits with a planet or moon, but do not collide with them. And finally, we have the near-Earth objects or NEOs, which are those which have their orbits close to the Earth's orbit, but again, they have very less chances of hitting the Earth, although since they are very close to the Earth, they do pose a threat of impact on the Earth's surface. And that's what the category which we are most concerned about, the NEOs specifically. Okay, so this is an edge-on view of the near-Earth asteroids, and you can see they are pretty high in number, actually. Okay, now, how big are these asteroids exactly? We just saw that none of them is more than 1,000 kilometers in diameter, which in planetary or in the scale of solar system is pretty small. So if you compare it to the Earth, which is near about 12,500 kilometers in diameter, you have a moon which is about 3,400 kilometers in diameter, and then you have the largest known asteroid, that is Ceres, which is not even 1,000 kilometers, just about 950 kilometers in diameter. So even the largest asteroid, Ceres, is actually not even 1,000 kilometers in diameter. So what makes asteroids so dangerous? Well, it's not their size, it's the speed or the velocity with which they are moving. They're moving at very high speed. So even if it's just a few kilometers wide, it can actually lead to devastating impact when it hits the Earth or any other kind of surface. So the question is, are we really safe? Because today, if you look at on the Earth, we have over 200 impact craters on the Earth, which has been created by asteroids. Over hundreds of near Earth asteroids actually fly past our Earth every year, and many of them do come down on Earth, but they do get burned out due to the atmosphere. But there are situations where asteroids do come down on the Earth. They do not get completely burned up by our atmosphere. So how often do we get hit by asteroids? Well, if you see, then I had shown you this even when we are doing the live session earlier, that every day about 100 tons of asteroids actually enter our Earth's atmosphere. And if you look every year, about two asteroids the size of a car come in. Every 10 years, an asteroid the size of a house. Every 50 years, a Chelyabinsk level of asteroid actually hits the Earth. That was also another event, okay, that had taken place again in part of Russia, okay, in 2013. And then every 500 years, you have a Tunguska level event, which is such a big asteroid that it can wipe out an entire city. And I'm sure that you all must be aware about the dinosaur extinction, which had taken place about 60, 70 million years ago, where there was again an asteroid hit, which literally wiped out millions of species from the face of the Earth. So, how do we actually make ourselves safe? Well, our best chance of avoiding an asteroid impact is not fighting it, of course, is by having an advance notice of a threat. And this is the main reason why we keep looking out for asteroids, keep looking out for any kind of object that are coming close to our Earth, that are moving around our Earth. We have literally thousands of eyes right now in the form of telescopes, satellites, and all that stuff, which are constantly looking at all directions around our Earth and seeing if there is any kind of asteroid or any other such kind of object which has any chance of actually coming down and hitting our Earth. And one of the landmark missions that was actually conducted as part of planetary defense exercise by NASA was the DART mission. That is the double asteroid redirection test, which some of you might be aware of as well. Here we literally sent a satellite and hit an asteroid physically. As you can see over here, our satellite literally went, and this spacecraft literally hit an asteroid at a very high speed and deflected the path of that asteroid, thereby proving, as you can see, the footage actually became red. That means the collision was successful. This was one of the few times when we were actually happy to see our spacecraft getting destroyed and broken into pieces after colliding with an object. So we deliberately collided with the asteroid so that its path gets deflected. And of course, we are actually able to prove that, yes, if by chance there's an asteroid which is very close to our Earth, we do have this last option as well. That is, send a very powerful, spacecraft, send it at very high speed, hit that rock, break it down or deflect its path so that it eventually does not hit our planet. And through these kind of missions, we have eventually, made ourselves kind of safe, but we always do have the risk of actually, having asteroid attacks, because there are, as you saw, there are literally thousands and thousands of asteroids which are also in the near Earth object category. And considering that, celebration of Asteroid Day to raise awareness about programs wherein we actually learn about how asteroids are actually tracked, about how asteroids are actually monitored, that becomes even more important. And talking about monitoring of asteroids, that's where I would like to actually show you one of the landmark programs that we actually conduct in our company, that is STEM and Space. So just give me a second while I give you a quick run through about, one of the flagship programs that we actually run on our STEM and Space platform. So some of you might have already participated in this, but I'm just showing you once again. It is called as the International Asteroid Search Campaign. So let me just share back my screen. Hold on for a second. So if you look at IASC, or called as the International Asteroid Search Collaboration or International Asteroid Search Campaign, this is an international campaign wherein students, teachers, passionate astronomers, anybody who is an enthusiast about astronomy, they can actually participate in a program where they work with real data from NASA and from Pan-STARRS telescope, which is one of, again, the great telescopes which is located in Hawaii. And we actually guide you that how you can actually work with that data and detect real asteroids. And you can literally make real asteroid discoveries through this program. So although this program is meant for grade 6th and above, some of you who are still in 5th, you can plan to actually participate in this program once you go to the 6th next year, or you can just show this to your elder siblings. And eventually you can prepare yourself from now itself to, participate in such kind of program. We keep it for 6th and above because there are certain technical aspects which usually the senior students are able to understand. But the gist about the program is that you get enrolled and we guide you through the entire process, where you actually get to work with real astronomical data from real telescopes from NASA, and you get to actually discover real asteroids. And if that discovery comes out to be genuine, which has happened many times, we have got over 100 discoveries so far in our company since the past few years, you will actually get the chance to name that asteroid. So your name as well as the name which you give to that asteroid will actually be etched permanently in NASA's website, of course. And that's how you can actually be part of a global campaign and be part of a very big astronomy citizen science project as well. So this is also a citizen science project similar to many other projects that we have covered. So the link to this is there in the pinned comment in the live chat. Do make sure that you check it out. Okay, even if you are not eligible right now, you can check out. Of course, you can check out the other programs also, for which we have already shared with you the link. For example, you can check out the Stories of the Universe, that is the YouTube podcast channel which we have, in which you will actually be able to learn about various things in astronomy and space science through very fun and interactive videos. Okay, and that is made in the form of podcast. So do make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our WhatsApp community, the link to which is also there in the live chat. It is pinned over there. You can check out our WhatsApp community as well, where you can actually, get the latest updates about all programs and everything that we are conducting live on our Spacetopia platform. Now that we are clear about what are asteroids, what are all this stuff, let's just quickly dive deeper into the quiz itself. So let me just share back my screen once again. So just give me a second. So today's session is what we call as Quiz It Up, because we have a Kahoot quiz today. So today we are having the Quiz It Up. The first Quiz It Up that we are having right now is the Mega Quiz, where we are celebrating the Asteroid Day. And this is for grades 2 to 5 right now. So by chance, if we have any students who is grade 6 and above, we request you to just wait for a short while, because we will be having a dedicated Kahoot session at 7 o'clock once we are done with this session. Okay, so just wait for a while, because there's no bravery in joining a junior's quiz and then acing that, right? So let's keep the battleground fair and square, and make sure that you join the quiz as per your own grade. Now, for joining the quiz, again, people who are on Spacetopia, you already probably know the drill, but let me just show you quickly. In your Spacetopia, once you log in, you can click on the top right button where you will go to your profile. Once you click on the profile, it will show you your name. So whatever your name is, that same name you need to actually use even in the Kahoot quiz. Although you do have the opportunity to use any other name as well, but it's preferable that you use your own name so that we can recognize you if you are winning the quiz, And once you click on the link, we'll share you the link shortly. Once you click on the link or scan the QR code for joining the quiz, what will happen is that you will actually get the option to enter your name. So you enter your name, although it says do not use your real name, please do use your real name, otherwise we won't be able to recognize you. Enter your real name, click on OK Go, and this is where you will actually need to stop. Because here, please do not click on achievements or anything. Once I start the quiz from my end, it will automatically start on your screen. And this is how the questions will come up on my screen. You will be able to see the questions as well as the options, but then you will be able to see only the colors of the options on your screen, whether it's the laptop or the mobile phone. So you have to look at the questions and the options from my screen and answer it accordingly on your screen by choosing the appropriate colored option. So please note, that is the reason we have actually asked you to arrange 2 devices for joining, or if you are a very professional in handling computers, you can also do it on 2 tabs on the same computer. But it's preferable that you attend the session on a laptop or a computer and you join the quiz through a mobile phone. It becomes very convenient. And of course, once we are done with the quiz, I will also declare the winners of the much awaited competition that has been going on for the past couple of months. That is the Astro painting competition. So before we dive deeper into the winners that I will do at the end, let me just generate the link and we will share the link of the quiz in the live chat itself. So just give me a second while I open it up. So as we can see, already people have started joining. Okay, so I can see that. Okay, so people have already started joining. So good to see that people are already joining. Let me just share my screen so that we can get along with the quiz. So here you go. So I can already see many of you have already joined, but if you are using the QR code to actually join, here I have shown the QR code as well. So you can either use that link or you can scan this QR code to actually join the quiz. So I can already see near about 20 people have joined. So I'll just wait for a couple of minutes while others are joining and then we'll get off with the quiz. Meanwhile, let me just turn up the volume so that you all get a nice quiz vibe. So you can also find the link to join this quiz in the pinned comment on the live chat. So there's a pinned, the link has been actually pinned in the live chat from our official Spacetopia account. So you can use that, or you can scan this QR code to actually join the quiz. So it's 6:20 right now. So we'll wait till 6:21. And as soon as it strikes 6:21, we'll just get along with the quiz. Meanwhile, if anybody is left out for joining the quiz, you can just keep answering to us on the live chat itself. Okay, so I can already see about 56 have joined. So let's just wait for a minute. So the quiz link, Shambhav is asking, where is the quiz link? The quiz link is in the live chat itself, kids. And you can alternatively go to kahoot.it and enter this pin also. That is 1892705. So that's also fine. Again, kids, I do repeat that the questions won't be visible on your devices. Please make sure you have my screen, which is visible on one device, and whichever device you're joining the Kahoot from, that's a different device, so that you can clearly see the options and the questions on my screen and answer it accordingly. Of course, we have kept the time limit for each question accordingly so that you do not face any challenges. There might be a bit of lag of 4-5 seconds. So we have accounted for that and kept the options in that way. Okay, so it's already 6:21. I can see. Okay, people are further joining. It says nickname is changed. Okay, so people are further joining. I can see. So let me just wait for a minute more because I can see people are further joining and asking. No worries. We'll just wait for one more minute and after that, we'll start immediately. So people, I can see over 70 people have already joined, and since it's 6:22 already, so let's just start with the quiz. So let me just share the sound, and again, if anybody gets left out, you can keep answering to us in the live chat itself. So let's begin with today's mega quiz on Asteroid Day. So today's quiz it's for grades 2 to 5 celebrating Asteroid Day. And here's your first question. Why is Asteroid Day observed on June 30th? So, well, a majority of you have actually answered it correctly, and that is an asteroid actually fell upon Tunguska, and that's what we had just covered up even in the recap, that it is the Tunguska impact and its anniversary, which had occurred on June 30th, 1908. And that is the event for which we are actually celebrating the Asteroid Day. Well, after the first question, this is how the leaderboard looks like. Aradhya is leading, followed by Avyu, Krisha, Mantu, and someone with a weird name. But we have many more questions to go, so do try your best and let's see who is actually able to maintain their positions till the end of the quiz. Here's your next question. What is an asteroid? And here are your options. Again, a majority of you have answered it correctly. It is a small rocky object in space. Of course, it is not a cloud. It's not a big rock on our Earth, of course. Then we won't call it asteroid. It's not a moving planet either. So good to see again. Now, I can see a few of you actually asking on the chat that the question wasn't visible on Kahoot. And that's what I had shown you multiple times, even during the presentation. And I told you even while you were joining that you actually need two devices or two tabs on the same laptop. On one, you need to actually keep this session live, and on the other tab or the other device, you can actually keep the Kahoot live. You can see the questions and options only on my screen. On your screen, you will only be able to see the colored options, which you have to tap and or select according to the correct answer. So that's what I repeated again. Let's move to the next one. This is a true or false. Asteroids revolve around the sun just like planets do. So, well, the answer is, of course, true. Asteroids do revolve around the sun just like planets do. The only thing is that they are, not having some properties like the planets, but that is true. They do revolve around the sun. Let's move to the next one now. Now, this is for double points, kids. Asteroids in our solar system are not more than dash kilometers in diameter. And the correct answer is 1000 kilometers. Just now, even during the recap, I showed you that even the largest, asteroid is not more than 950 kilometers in diameter. So, of course, none of them is more than 1000 kilometers in diameter. Let's move to the next one. Where are most of the asteroids located? Well, again, good to see majority of you answering correctly, and that's between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, where the asteroid belt is present. We also call that the main belt asteroids, remember? So good to see that. Let's move to the next one. Who discovered the first asteroid? And the correct answer itself is Giuseppe Piazzi, which we are again, covering up during the recap itself. So he was the one who discovered the first asteroid over 200 years ago, in 1801. So let's look at the next one. The word asteroid has been derived from the word aster, which means. Correct is star-like, which we are also covering up during the recap, that aster word means star-like, and that is why asteroid was actually derived from that, because earlier times people used to think of it as like stars itself. Okay, let's move to the next one. What is the largest asteroid known in our solar system? And the correct answer is Ceres. So it is the largest asteroid in our solar system, often considered as a dwarf planet as well, because it is the largest one, or has a more or less a round shape and shares some properties similar to the normal planets. And that is why it's often considered into a dwarf planet category as well. So we are about halfway through the quiz, and here I can see the positions have changed quite a lot. Here I can see Sitara is leading currently, followed by Rudraksh, Advika, Manikanta, and Ilakshi. And Sarah is the highest climber till now. So we have the other half of the quiz to go. Let's see who is able to retain their positions till the end. So here's a question for double points now, kids. The aim of NASA's DART mission was to answer is to hit an asteroid and deflect it. So we saw that that was the aim of the DART mission, that we literally send a spacecraft to hit it and then change its path so that it doesn't hit our Earth. That means at that time it was not about to hit our Earth, but that's what we're trying to demonstrate, that we can possibly deflect an asteroid and change its path so that it doesn't hit us in future. So let's move to the next one. Dash can share a planet's orbit without crashing into it. The correct answer is actually Trojan asteroids, because those are the ones which can share a planet's orbit without crashing onto them. So, for example, here you can see these are all the asteroids of Jupiter. So, these are Jupiter Trojan asteroids, which actually share their orbit, share much of their orbit with Jupiter's orbit, but they do not collide with Jupiter. So, that's how the Trojan asteroids actually work. So, few people were actually able to answer it, but we had covered it up during the recap as well. No worries, let's move to the next one. Why do scientists study asteroids? And as majority of you have answered, it's all of the above, whether to find valuable metals, whether to learn how life started and how planets and stars actually formed. We get all the different kinds of information from the asteroids themselves. And that is why we are so keen on actually studying and understanding asteroids. And that is the reason why we have a dedicated campaign on that, a citizen science project on that. And there are different kind of programs which you keep doing on asteroids itself. So that's good to see that again, majority of you have been answering correctly. Let's move to the next one. Once again, for double points, kids. There are about dash impact craters on Earth. Correct answer is again 200, and we are having that recap as well, that there are about 200 impact craters as of now till date on our Earth, which has been created by several different kinds of asteroids that has hit Earth's surface over the course of history. Let's look at the 13th one. An asteroid is called dash when it falls on the Earth's surface. Correct answer is actually meteorite. Okay, so when it falls on the Earth's surface is actually called as a meteorite. Okay, but if you look at an asteroid when it travels, asteroid actually changes its name as it moves along. Its name actually keeps changing, depending upon the place it is in. When it's in space, it's actually called an asteroid. When it eventually starts coming down on the Earth, it eventually turns into a meteoroid. Then it first turns into a meteor, then a meteoroid, and finally a meteorite. And of course, when there are hundreds and thousands of meteors which are falling over a long period of time, then it's called as a meteor shower, which actually takes place several times during the year. Do let me know in the chat if you're aware which meteor shower is actually coming up next month, a very prominent one indeed. So let's look at the 14th one, which is a true or false. Asteroids are responsible for creating craters on the moon. Good to see again. All of you answering before even the time ended. So it is indeed true. Asteroids are responsible for creating all these craters on the moon. So, millions and millions of asteroids have hit the surface of the moon and created those big, big craters that we see today. So, finally, this is how the scoreboard is. After 14 questions, we have Rudraksh at the top, followed by Ilakshi, Aman, Kayana, and Aisha. And Ajinkya is the highest climber as of now, up to 12 places. But we have one more question to go, and I can see the points are not very different. So, can the final question change the fate of these participants? Let's look at the final one. And this is for double points, and it's a multi-select one, kids. That means more than one option may be correct. Which of the following statements is or are correct? So, well, the correct answers are the red, blue, and the green one. The yellow one says a Chernobyl level asteroid. Well, Chernobyl was, of course, a very deadly and, a very saddening disaster, but it is nowhere related to an asteroid. So it was actually a nuclear, level event. While if you look at the other three, these three are factually correct because that's what I had also shown you during the recap as well, that what is why we actually need to actually take asteroids seriously, because these are the statistics. Every year about two asteroids, every 10 years about an asteroid as big as a house, every 500 years a Tunguska level event occurs. So there is a good chance of risk that exists with asteroids. So with this we conclude the Kahoot quiz for asteroid day. Now, of course, it's a fun quiz, so please do not get discouraged if the points are slightly less. There is internet connection. The faster you answer, the more points you get. Several factors which are at play when you're answering. So it might happen that the points are slightly different. So, but still, let's look at the podium and see who all have actually topped the quiz. So in third position, we have got Sitara. In second position, we have got Kayana. And in the first position with over 14,000 points, who do we have? We got Vidra. So congratulations to the winners. And we got Aisha in the fourth position and Ilakshi in fifth, who are the runners-up. And of course, along with you all, we have all the other people who were there along with us in the quiz, around the podium itself. So thank you so much for joining once again, and congratulations to the winners. Okay, let me just turn down the volume, otherwise I probably won't be audible. So, yeah. So thank you again so much for joining. Let me just skip this off and stop sharing. So I hope you all have actually enjoyed our Asteroid Day Mega Quiz, where we actually learned and covered up some of the very nice and important things about asteroid. And do make sure that you check out our Spacetopia official YouTube channel, the link to which is also shared in the live chat. And the pinned message on the live chat also contains the link to our ISC program, which is our flagship program, where you can participate and in a real citizen science project and learn more about asteroids. And of course, last but not the least, which we had already promised, let's just quickly look at the winners of the long-awaited astro painting competition. So I know that it has been quite long since we had actually conducted we had announced the astro painting competition. That's because, there were also several requests that we had eventually got that, we are still preparing and all that thing. And of course, there were summer vacations that were going on. So there were several submissions that have come in. And first of all, the first thing that I would like to tell you all is that it was absolutely thrilling to see such nice artworks that have been actually sent and submitted to us as part of the astro painting competition. All the work that we have seen, they are really commendable. We appreciate the hard work and the efforts that you all have actually put in, and the weight that you all have actually showed. And a few people have also done a bit of research in finding that what they need to draw, what they need to make. So it was quite a hard time for us to actually, for our entire team to actually determine who should be the winners. There was a lot of clash here and there, but of course we had very clearly mentioned the criteria for our evaluation. So on the pinned message itself on Padlet, we had mentioned it very clearly what is the criteria for the evaluation of all these. And strictly based on the criteria without any biasing. Of course, we do not know any of these students personally or professionally. We do not know actually any of you. It was actually interesting to see that hardly any of our Spacetopia members had actually joined. So thank you so much for participating in our competition as new students. Make sure that you sign up on our Spacetopia platform for such more kind of competitions, fun Kahoot sessions, fun DIY sessions, and a lot more other upcoming exciting things that are coming up very soon on the platform, like games and stuff. They are also going to be coming up very soon. So thank you so much for that. So considering the evaluation criteria, we, of course, were bound to pick up 5 winners itself. So that is why we have actually chosen the 5 winners based on this evaluation criteria itself. So let me just show those to you. So let me just share my screen back. So yeah. So the winners of the astro painting competition. So I already showed you the various different submissions that we have got in astro painting. Okay. So just give me a second. So let's directly move to the winners themselves. Okay. So just give me a second. So here you go. So now there was, of course, no ranking that is actually given to the winners. Okay, there is no particular ranking that we are giving. We have just selected top 5. There is no first, second, third, or something like that. The sequence in which I'm showing the winners is purely, based on the grade. So first of all, I am showing the winners who have actually sent us their pictures, because we had asked for their pictures and some of you have actually sent us. So I'm showing those, and then I'm showing those who have not sent your pictures, but I'm showing in grade-wise manner. Okay, so there is no, alphabetical or rank-wise or something like that. Okay, so the first winner is Ilakshi Mahakul from grade 2, DPS Noida, Sector 30. So this was her artwork. Very nice to see Ilakshi making a Chandrayaan Kids Express. Probably a couple of decades from now, we do have a train-like rocket which will actually be termed as Chandrayaan Kids Express, and you kids will actually be able to go to moon using that rocket. So good to see, appreciate that. The next winner is Nirvriti Praveen from grade 4, NPS International School from Mysore. So this was her artwork. One thing that actually struck very nicely on Nirvriti's artwork is that she has actually used 2 different layers, if you closely notice. So she has painted the sky in a different layer, and then she has used a altogether different layer in the front to actually paint the entire moon. So kudos Nirvriti for this creativity in the artwork. So that was also something which was part of our evaluation criteria. The third winner is Vinmay Mangesh Surve from grade 3, Gautam Singhania Global School, Mumbai. So although his artwork looks very simple, his artwork really showed the genuinity and authenticity. And of course, we also did check out if your artwork has been generated with AI, if you have taken whether you have copied another existing design or whether you have taken the inspiration from another design. So all these things we have taken into consideration. The fourth winner is Nainisha Vishal Jadhav, who is from grade 5, again, Gautam Singhania Global School, Mumbai. So something that Gautam Singhania School is doing, especially to these students, that they are excelling in the artwork, and especially in a not a normal art competition, but an astro painting competition, which is kind of culmination between science and art. And finally, the final winner of astro painting is Rene Bhutan who is from grade 5, the Shriram Millennium School, Noida. So his artwork also showed a bit of creativity when it comes to the art side. Okay, and we did take into consideration some of the unique elements that you all have taken based on the topic as well. So the other factor for evaluation was also how relevant you are actually making your artwork close to the topic which we had actually given you. Of course, you can make a very good painting, but if it's not relevant to the topic, there's no point. So, well, these were the winners of the astro painting competition, and that's how we conclude our astro painting competition. All the winners have been sent their certificate of merit, and the rewards will be dispatched very soon. Okay, we will be taking the addresses, and the rewards will be dispatched very soon to your addresses. All the other participants will receive their certificate of participation on their email IDs right at 7 o'clock right now. Okay, so they will be sent to their certificate of participation on those email IDs which you have shared on Padlet. So thank you all so much for participating in these competitions. And once again, a very big thank you for joining in our live Kahoot quiz on the occasion of Asteroid Day. So we hope that you all have now a very good idea about asteroids, why they're important and all that stuff. If you have any questions, any doubts, please make sure that you contact us on this email ID, hello@stemandspace.com. And do not forget to follow us on all our social media channels by scanning this QR code, where we put up the latest update of all things related to space and astronomy on these social media handles itself. So thank you all so much for joining. All the links to the social media handles, to the ISC, to the various kind of programs that we do, as well as our WhatsApp community, which will deliver direct WhatsApp updates on your WhatsApp itself. The links to all those are there in the description of the YouTube or on Spacetopia, on both. So we have the descriptions on both YouTube and Spacetopia. Make sure you check that out and join our WhatsApp community for all the latest updates. So thank you so much for joining, and hope to see you all in the next one. Till then, bye-bye everyone, and good night.